I totally had this gag where I was going to film myself walking up and grabbing it off the shelf, but it wasn't on the shelf. And it said online they totally had them. Luckily for me, I walked just past the aisle, and I see the dude loading up his shopping cart from things from the pallet to stock the toy shelves, because it was pretty much barren in there. I walked past it, and this was right on top. Said AF Double Fire. And I asked him very nicely if he would grab me one, and he totally did. There's 4 in a box, by the way. I'm excited. This looks really freaking cool, and it's only $10, so let's take her home and see what she can do. Nothing like a little midnight excursion to your local Walmart to pick up the brand new Adventure Force Double Fire Twin Barrel Dart Blaster, or a break action shotgun, or the evolution of, some will say probably the barrel break, obviously from Nerf, but also the Buzzbee Double Shot, because this is obviously a Buzzbee blaster. We should be able to find that logo somewhere on this once we take it out of the package. A few things to say right off the bat. 1, shoots up to 80 feet. 2, dual stage trigger, kind of hard to see in there, shoot 1 or 2 darts at once, and comes with a side saddle dart holder that clips onto the left or right side of the blaster, but only comes with the 1, unfortunately, and 6 darts, and darts are compatible with all Adventure Force blasters and most standard Nerf blasters. And there is the thing right there showing how it works with the hinge loading action, although I dare say that might ruin this entire blaster for me. We will definitely find out, but for $10 flippin', it's gonna be hard to complain, and I am going to get this thing out of the box because I am so interested in what this has to offer, especially for $10. It's gonna be hard to make a bad blaster for $10. I honestly don't even want to remove these darts because they look awful even for like the Buzzbee darts. I don't know how well you can see that, but the glue is all over the place. So unfortunately, I'm not even going to bother with those darts. They're pretty garbage darts anyway, to be perfectly honest. The Buzzbee darts they're using now are just atrocious. So we'll be replacing them with the far superior darts that you can also get from Walmart, the Adventure Force Waffles. After all, this is still an Adventure Force blaster. Can I find a Buzzbee logo on it somewhere? Yes, it is right here on the stock, that you can see it. It is, well, it's not the worst thing ever, but this is how you have to hold it because the whole break action mechanism is right there. That's not the greatest thing ever. Let's put the side saddle on it. It doesn't look like you'd ever want to come out, but we're gonna clip it on anyway. Can't we take? Yeah, we can. Actually, it will fall off rather easily. So be prepared for every single one of these you ever thrift to be missing that. Load it up with a couple of darts to make it look all kinds of official. That's a good idea. My question is, can I still grip it? And I can, although it's made it slightly less comfortable. And you can kind of see from the profile here, it's basically just a big long stick. There's really no adjustments to be made anywhere on it. It's literally the same thickness throughout. Hopefully that means it has 2 plunger tubes. And it does. Yep, I can already see the string. Holy crap, dude! Thing feels like it's gonna break the first time I try to use it. So instead of using the cool shells, there's no barrel. There's none. There's basically nothing there. You just load it in like that. Oh god. Okay. Well, no, there's one. It's a very heavy dual stage trigger. Let's try that again. Let's load this up. It's the most definite trigger I have seen in a blaster like this. So if we pull it just about like that, and then like that, it's got 2 very distinct clicks in quite a bit of travel in between. And yeah, if you pull the trigger with a vengeance, you can of course get it to fire 1 dart at once, but we've already pretty much confirmed. If there was ever a shadow of a doubt, this is essentially the Buzzbee Double Shot, but in a new package, in no shells, and honestly, that might be a detriment to it. I hate to say it, but This action right here is horrible. I'm sure there's a toy law, like something to do with like you can't have, I just noticed there's a big, you can't even brass barrel this thing, there's a hole right there. There has to be some kind of reason why you can't just break it open and load the darts into the barrel like you'd want to, with like a barrel break. I'm guessing because they can't prevent somebody from putting anything down there that would be a foreign object and still seal the barrel? That's my only guess, because none of these blasters will do it for some reason. And it's really upsetting to me. The foregrip is really comfortable, as it should be. I have, you know, average small hands, and that all fits me, but this is... that's not great. We will take this thing apart, because that's just atrocious, and I want to see the internals be pretty much exactly like the Double Strikes. We're going to do a little bit of crony testing here. I don't know which barrel shoots first, so we're about to find out. Hopefully it's the left one. I don't think it was. I think it was the right one. It was, in fact, the left one and then the right one. Okay, so I just screwed up. 72.4. That does not clip as much as I'd like it to. 76.4. 80 flat, which is, well, it says 80 feet, not 80 FPS, but... 74.7. And 69.5. Well, not exactly the greatest of everything ever. The side saddle does help, because obviously it's really easy for you to just do that, put that back together, boom, boom, break it back open, grab 2 more darts, shove those in the barrel. It's actually really quick to reload this thing, all things considered. Not a terrible option. It's also not terribly long. I mean, here's my arm in comparison. It's not bad for what it is. It's also only $10, and I'm sure somebody with like a holster or something like that, this would work on a, you know, attached to your hip, but it would be better on a back holster or possibly a leg holster. It's pretty big, and unfortunately, I don't think that you're going to be cutting this thing down a whole lot, but let's find out and open it up and see how much space you could possibly save inside this blaster. Yep, that is exactly what that is. It's basically the same damn thing. It really, really is. Dead Space Central right there. It's got maybe a little bit slightly better. Oh, that seems like that should be... Oh no. Oh no, springs are coming out now. Oh God. Oh no, what did that do? Well... put you back, I guess? This seems like it should be... I don't know. It's right there. It doesn't seem like it should be there. What is... Oh, okay. Okay, I see what that is. I didn't see this. So this is the catch spring? These little dinky springs are the catch springs for this entire blaster? I mean, I guess... And is this... No, it's not solvent welded. Tiny, tiny plunger tubes. A bit smaller than anything like a Fire Strike or a Retaliator. Good seal, though. Definitely good seal. Pretty decently strong springs, although they're a bit small, all things considered. I mean, you can tell kind of right there. Here's compared to a dart. So it is basically nothing more than a rebirth of the Double Shot, without the cool shell ejecting gimmick. Now, for a lot of you, it's going to be no-brainer that you're going to want to get something like this, because, after all, now you don't have to worry about having the shells, which, you know, that's not a bad thing. The shells are kind of hard to deal with and whatnot, and a lot of people can't get a lot of the shells. And the performance was pretty terrible with these shells. Oh my god. Okay, there's like 0% chance this thing's going back together now. I should have never touched this thing. Oh, no. Oh, this thing is gonna be the death of me. Oh my gosh. It just gets worse. It just gets so much worse. Alright, not that I was planning on it, but I'm pretty sure I just became a master at the internals for this thing. Such is the way my life works in this job. So, we've got this stuff, this cord, wrapped around here, goes between the two catches, which have springs that push them up like that. And then this thing also has a spring on it, so it can spring back into place, I'm guessing. When it gets pulled, maybe it's supposed to put a little bit of tension? Oh, it came undone. So we'll have to figure out how to very carefully... There, I'm pretty sure that's how that's supposed to go. Okay, anyway, spring here for that roller thing. Goes between the two catches, goes up to here, roller. Hopefully that is how this thing works. I am already tired of this blaster. Let me put it back together, make sure it fires. Hopefully this still fires darts at a reasonable velocity. Yep, still works. Not bad. So, it's a nightmare to open up inside, and I'm pretty sure they did some things to make it a little bit more durable. There's long boy screws in all the key places. It's got a lot of things in it that are spring-loaded to try to keep it together. It's kind of a nightmare inside, but I've managed to figure it out. The grips and all these gray pieces will pop right off for painting. This thing's gonna look amazing once it's painted. All right, let's talk about some points on this thing. Handling, I'm giving that a 2 out of 5. It's usable. The foregrip and whatnot is extremely comfortable, and it's not an overall large blaster, although you can't really show it. It just doesn't happen, unfortunately. But I don't think it's meant to be shouldered unless you're a very small child. So, it's usable, and the biggest problem, of course, is the grip and the stock. There's just not a whole lot there. It's not extremely comfortable back here. It's functional, but it doesn't do anything impressive. It could have been worse, so I'm giving it a 2 out of 5 on that one. Stock potential. So, as a stock blaster, I'm giving it a 3 out of 5. It doesn't do anything exceptional, but it doesn't do anything particularly bad either. This thing can be used as an effective secondary shotgun. I don't know about a primary, but for a stock war, decent velocity, you can reload it rather quickly. It looks the part, so why not? 3 out of 5 on its stock usage. Now let's talk about upgradability. I'm gonna give this a 1 out of 5. Unfortunately, with it being a double shot, even though they've made changes to try to make this just as robust as they possibly could with these long boy screws and all the important key areas, it's still a double shot. Small plunger tubes, pretty strong springs already, but it works on a pivoting system using a string, which means parts will probably eventually snap if they get too stressed out in there, even with those long boy screws. And, well, there's not really much of a point to putting a bigger spring or anything in it because, one, you have to find one that fits, and two, there's still not a whole lot to put in there. The catches seem pretty weak on top of that, so there really isn't a whole lot of upgradability. But the fun factor, it's a double-barreled shotgun. It misses the mark, so I'm giving it a 4 out of 5 on the fun. It's cheap. It's a $10 blaster that's a double-barreled shotgun, and it feels really good to use like a shotgun. The biggest issue, which may be actually something that's good for it, is the reload because of that kind of awkward way that you don't just shove darts down in the barrels like you'd want to, you gotta load them up at the front, but it's extremely easy to do, and it's got the 2-stage trigger, so boom, boom. Really nice little blaster. So overall, with the cheap price, how cool it looks, and its potential to be just a decent little sidearm shotgun kind of thing, I'm saying it's definitely something you should look at if you're interested in a blaster like this, but don't buy it expecting to make some kind of crazy, big, huge monstrosity that's going to destroy everything. It can be painted. All these parts, like these side panels, these parts right here, this whole grip assembly, even multiple parts up here, can be taken off and painted. So it's gonna look really cool with a paint job, and I may just do that. But it is definitely not the best shotgun we're ever going to have, ever. Not a bad little blaster, not a great one either, but let me know what you think about the new Adventure Force Double Fire down in that comment section below. Maybe you thought of something I possibly haven't. I think it's a pretty decent little blaster. I like it, but it's definitely could have been better. Hoping for new internals. I got basically a double shot that might be slightly more robust inside. Oh, that is a really tough spring, too. Yeah, no kidding. Anyways, I'm Walcom S7. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked it, hit the subscribe, hit the like button. If you disliked it, there's a button for that too, you heathen. But other than that, I will see you in an entirely different video.
You gotta up,